iRADIO 76 proudly presents the 515 Show with your host, John Sarver. Who's at the 515 door today?
I'm telling you what. They don't build them like this anymore. The fun part is that Karri Anne Beebe has been with us a couple of times. And every single time that she's with us, it's always dynamite. I mean, what a fun person. And they actually let us hang around their car for a while. Hi, Karri Anne. How you doing?
I am good.
Yeah?
And yourself?
Well, not so bad. Well, my elbow hurts. My knee creaks. I actually always wonder, do people really want to know? I mean, do you really want to tell folks?
Well, I didn't say I wanted to tell anybody, but I did ask you how you were doing. If you're doing crappy, say something.
Can you imagine that's like the first part of the conversation, somebody you haven't seen in a long time? How you feeling? Doing crappy, you?
Well, you know.
Well, we know
maybe there's something that person can do to help you.
Yeah, like run more Friday nights. How's that going for you? How's your season so far?
So far we're not displeased with it.
That's a ringing endorsement if I've ever heard one.
Well, I mean, Friday night we qualified middle of the pack. We not too happy, not too upset about it, yeah. But we were noticing an issue, but we were doing the best we can, and we lost first round, and we didn't lose by much. So it's not like somebody left me sitting at the starting line and took off, and so that's always a good thing. I don't like having my buttocks handed to me, and but we made a couple of changes over the winter, and we wondered about one of them, and wondered if that wasn't exactly right. So Saturday morning we got up and took the transmission out, changed the converter, went back to Milan to run the no ET program, made one pass. We went our fastest everything in one pass.
So that was
on Saturday.
That was the magic combination then?
Yeah. So we're extremely satisfied as of right now. We're looking forward. We race in 2 weeks in Martin, US 131, and so we're very much looking forward to that now.
You know, last time that we talked, it was one of those, you just were sitting out for 2 years of COVID, and everybody was too. And it was twiddling the thumbs and stuff. I mean, how did you get through those 2 years?
Well, Milan, we only really sat out one because Milan was
back in normal,
was shut down. But there were races to be had. They were just kind of few and far between.
With the emphasis on far, and gas was really expensive.
Yeah, gas is always expensive. Tell me what part of this hobby is not expensive.
You know, we were talking about that too, and it is kind of fascinating, isn't it? Here you have probably the only sport ever. I mean, you could go buy a baseball mitt for a couple $100 and cleats for $100. You're done. You know, and you can play.
Really? My father-in-law plays softball, and he has bats that cost hundreds of dollars.
Okay.
You always have to have the latest, the greatest, the bestest, you know. So yeah, I mean, you could play on a budget. You can do any hobby on a small budget.
Yeah, but does he?
But sooner.
Does he worry about going to the baseball diamond and breaking in the first inning and then costing him hundreds and hundreds of dollars?
He does worry about not winning, and he does put a lot of stock in the fact that his $400 bat makes him hit the ball better. Yeah. He sure does.
All right, so all the money that he's got in there, and how much money do you have on your engine?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's rich?
I think people who mine gold are hobbyists. How much money do you think they put into mining gold compared to how much they get?
It is, yeah, but it is a strange sport. It really is for everybody that we've been hanging around with. It is a very expensive sport, especially just to go to the track costs hundreds and hundreds. Just to go, and if your car doesn't fire, or if something happens in first round, or even if it rains,
Exactly.
Yikes! How much money are you guys out? And that's one race. How many races are you doing this year, Karri?
So right now, we are scheduled for all 6 of the Milan heads-up races. So that's the first Friday of every month at Milan. Then next week, we are scheduled to go to it's the Brian Davis race at 131. And then, let me just see, July, August. In August, we are scheduled to do the Motor City Mayhem in Milan. It's August 25th and 26th. And then that's it. So just the Milan races and then just 2 extra races.
Keeping it kind of close to home?
Yeah. Like you said, it gets expensive. Just every part of it is expensive. And
well, we constantly talk about that ATM you have buried in your backyard.
Yeah, all my coffee cans full of money. Yep. I think the squirrels dug some up over the winter when I wasn't looking.
Yeah, really, how much has it jumped just on prices alone for the last 2 years?
So, like concrete prices that I could tell you.
Yeah, like fuel, like transportation.
Yeah, I was just going to say our fuel. So we buy it in 5-gallon pails, and it went up about $20, I think it went up. Maybe a little more, a little less, about that much for a 5-gallon. And we've already gone through, I think I'm on my 3rd 5-gallon pail so far, and we've only raced 1 race.
Wow, maybe you should put a 2-barrel on that so you get better gas economy.
Yeah, we dynoed it. We warmed it up at home. We ran it, we went testing on Thursday, then we had the race, and then we went back for that 1 pass on Saturday. So,
did we hear you say that you're going to be doing a Brian Davis race?
Yeah, Brian Davis is, according to my calendar, next weekend at 131 is a Brian Davis race.
Wow. Mm-hmm. The Brian Davis?
Yeah.
Cool. But now, all right, so then that's for what, hundreds of millions of dollars? What's that all about, to make you go that far?
Yeah, I don't know. I know that there's a shootout, so that'll be, it sounds like it's a tip draw type shootout, and then I heard them saying that there's a LDR race.
Really?
I'm not sure if we're doing the shootout or if we're doing the LDR race. I don't know yet. I think they're still trying to decide which is the better option for us.
Well, which one do you want to do?
Whichever one's the better option.
Okay, makes sense.
It's all the same to me. It's but as far as what will potentially provide us with the better outcome, that's the one we want to go with.
Right.
And that means, as far as how many competitors do we think will show up, how many car field, what kind of cars, meaning caliber of cars, and the payouts are pretty much the same from what I understand, and the entrance fees are pretty much the same. So I think the team is just trying to make the determination which one do they believe will be a better outcome for us as a team.
If everything was all the same and across the board, which one would you rather go to? Which one would you rather drive in, I should say?
No, they're at the same place.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, there's different categories, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, track and competitors aren't going to change for me. That's what I'm saying. To me, it's the same drive. It's the same show. So it really, honestly,
okay.
A competitor's a competitor. I'm not sure that I'm gonna necessarily know or not know my immediate competitors, but I like going to the races. You know, even if we're not competing against you or whoever, it is always fun to see your friends and hang out and watch your friends race.
Yeah, welcome to the season. I mean, now, hooray, finally, it's here.
Yeah.
Unless you get hit by the rain.
Yeah. Once you get hit by the rain, it's an occupational hazard, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, there was a couple of times, Karri, you went out of state to race a lot, didn't you? Back in the day?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so this time around, there's nothing that's compelling you to go, or you're just like, let's take a look at the car first, or what keeps you at home?
So out-of-town races cost a lot of money. And when I say a lot, I mean, it's a lot for me. We're talking $1,000 in fuel just for the rig to get us there. Now you're talking 3 or 4 days off of work, potentially. And now I have to ask the rest of the crew to take those days off of work and away from their families. You know, when my crew jumps in the truck to go to Georgia, they're not bringing their wife and kids with them. They're leaving their families here. So that has to all be considered. I'm not going to ask these people to up and leave their families just to come play with me. So they have to have this conversation at home with their own families. Can we afford for me to take 2 days off, 3 days off, be away from home? You know, I don't know what days they mow the lawns. Maybe that has to be considered. Then I have to feed everybody. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, all of it for 4 days.
All right, so one bag of Doritos. All right, next.
So that is a inhibiting factor for us to travel. Now you look at where are we going to go? Where are we going to go that offers a drag radio class? And if we go, are we even competitive enough to even think we'll get qualified? I am nowhere near as fast as some of the guys at Milan. So going out of town to a big race like that, it's got to be more of a vacation type plan than the team is going racing plan, because at this point we are just not as fast as some of our competitors. Now that doesn't mean that I can't win or I don't have a chance. It's just that on paper we have to really consider the idea of going. And so the last time we traveled out of town was 2019. We came home to COVID.
Great. And
right.
Put it away.
But right. So we just, as a team, just haven't looked at traveling too far. And there are not, like I said, there are not a lot of, there's a national LDR that does a circuit in the southern states. And we have gone there before. They used to go to Bowling Green. I don't think they go there anymore. And that was a great race, and we've actually made it to the finals in that race before. But the further away you get from my front porch, the more it costs me to go.
All right, so if Matt shows up at your front door and says you're coming today, how many people are going to say no?
No, well, I'm not going to say no.
I know.
Because, but, you know, we have other people on the team who also have to be considered and asked, and, you know, are you available? We sit down as a team at the beginning of every season, and we have a conversation. What kind of races do you think we should go to this year? Who's having a good race? Or, you know, what race did we like last year? What are we thinking we're going to do this year? And then we have other personal things going on. I was just looking at the race calendar. One of our team members is going to be out of town the weekend of a race that we could have gone to, but he's out of town. Then there's another race in September. I'm going to be out of town. So that is always a consideration, too.
I mean, doesn't your crew sign like a Beebe loyalty pledge?
No. No. And I would never expect them to.
Okay.
You know, for what they get paid, they are more than welcome to come and go as they please, and I appreciate any and all help that they're willing to give us.
Let's see, what do they get? They get a really cool crew shirt, right? They get to hang around you and Matt. Okay, that's worth its weight in gold anywhere. You know, that's worth 5 days in California.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't want to hang out with me when I wake up grumpy on a Saturday morning. Oh boy.
We still doing the princess thing or whatever they used to call you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Still haven't shaken that, eh?
Oh, I wear this crown proudly. Yeah, you know, I mean, we're friends. We're friends and we're family, but these team members also have wives and children that all need to be considered. Yeah, and I'm thankful. I mean, if you want to talk about Beebe loyalty, my team members, their family has signed it. Because when Bill or Doug go home and say, hey, Matt and Karri are taking the transmission and changing the converter, I know I just got home 8 hours ago and the lawn needs to be mowed, but can I leave and go to Milan and play today? I know I was just there Thursday and I was just there yesterday, but can I go back? Do you mind? I mean, I'm not done to say they're asking permission from their spouses, but it's a matter of, do you mind? Does the family have other plans that I really need to attend to? And these wives, girlfriends, yeah, sure, go.
See?
So,
people like you, Karri.
Well, I hope they like me. I like them, and I consider all of them friends.
Yeah.
But when I say team, I'm talking about, you know, think about it exponentially. This isn't their job. This is their hobby. I don't know why anybody have a hobby to hang out with me, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like if Paul McCartney said, hey, you want to play tonight? Sure.
Sure.
You know, I mean, what parents or what wife or girlfriend would say, no, I don't think so. You should stay home and let's watch a Hallmark movie.
You know, but there are family obligations that do have to be tended to. And this year, there are, I believe, 2 races that we are not attending because one of the team members has a family obligation, and the other one, I will be out of town.
All right. Well, let's take a look at this. So now you got 131 coming up. You have Milan coming up. You know,
yep.
I mean, for the rest of the year, and if I'm not mistaken, I didn't hear any other tracks in Michigan that you're going to be racing at.
Nope, just those 2. We'll be at Martin, Martin and Milan.
How is the Friday night going? We had a wonderful report when we were going up to mid-Michigan. We multitask at all times, you know, on the phone, and people were saying how well Friday night went last Friday. And they said it was smooth as silk. Now, it puts you in a unique position to say, no, it blew. It was the hardest thing possible. I mean, it ran crappy, and I'll never go back again. But, I mean, how does it look this year?
Friday? You're talking like?
Well, Friday they said that the reports that we got was it was car right after car, and everybody was the thing was flowing and it was going, and there wasn't any like holdups there, and everybody was like really dialed in, track wise, driver wise, everybody wise.
So I'm just gonna take one at a time. The track was killer. Track was killer, and when I say killer, I mean it was killer for me and my car. What it was for you and your car, or his and his car, I got no idea. My team and I have not one issue with the track, surface, and or prep Friday night. Or Thursday, or Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Track prep for Beebe Motorsports, spot on. Customer service. Let's talk about that. We talked about that before with the old owners and how their customer service
was there any?
Lacked.
Yeah.
Exactly. The customer service that we experienced in the 3 days we were there this week, heads above what I've ever been used to at Milan Dragway.
Explain.
These new owners, they have dressed their staff all the same. If you don't know who is, like, you go to other tracks and you know who's a staff member. And that was always an issue with Milan. Well, is he staff? Is she staff? I don't know. Milan has taken the time to put uniforms on their staff members. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. I took my 10-year-old granddaughter to the Friday night heads-up race. She has never been to the track before. And I am always explaining to her about safety. Safety in your surroundings, safety with yourself. And I said to her, if at any point in this evening you have an issue, we get separated, something happens, you see those people in the red shirts, find one of them and say to them, I have a problem. She knows my name. She knows my car is green. But I gave her a focal point, a reference, a staff member that she could go to if she needed help. That's never been there before. That's customer service. And they're not even doing anything. What they're doing is they're presenting a united company front with uniforms. And I know that may sound stupid, it may sound small, but it is a big deal when your company, when you walk into a place and you know who works there because they're wearing a uniform. This isn't a casual Friday office. As far as the cars going down the track, Milan tells us that you get 2 qualifiers on a Friday night, unless the planets align, and then you may get 3, but don't ever bank on it. We got 3 qualifiers. That means they started on time, they kept those cars running, they kept cars going down the track, and they were able to give all, I believe all the classes, to the best of my knowledge, got 3 qualifiers.
Wow.
That tells you they're doing something right.
Not bad for a year, huh?
No.
I mean, now, tip of the hat to Chris and all the guys that are running that, because you had a big field Friday night, didn't you?
We had iRADIO had a 15-car field.
Nice size.
And 16's a full field.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And they added a new class, this this run what you brung, where you don't have to have doors, and there's dragsters. I wish I could have seen more of those. I just didn't get a chance. I think that's amazing. I think that's so cool.
Oh, yeah. See,
and so,
well,
I think they're...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, I think they're listening to... They're not saying, I'm going to do what Karri says, but I think they're listening to the suggestions. I think they've put out there that we're open to listening to your suggestions. And somebody suggested this class, and they said, sure, let's give it a try. I think it's pretty cool. I can't run it, but I think it's pretty cool.
Well, you think you'd give up the green car and go no door?
No. No.
Okay. I mean, see, that was the thing that that we've heard. We've heard a lot of stuff about Milan, about Wednesday nights too. I guess are just a party, And
are they?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what goes on then, but I guess it's some pretty wild, test and toony kind of everything. But as much as Milan makes their bread and butter on Friday nights. And
do they make their bread and butter on Friday night?
Well, I mean, they're kind of like if you have a restaurant and you have a famous dish that everybody knows.
Sure.
I mean, Friday night. Name a strip around here that Friday night where people, go, oh yeah, that's cool. But Friday night to us is kind of owned by Milan. On those nights that you guys are there, on those 5 weeks or whatever they are. I mean, just because it's incredible racing.
I agree with. I mean, I personally, I like the heads up night. I think that the first. I mean, they've. I like the fact that the new owners stuck with that program of the first Friday of every month. It's easy to tell people when you're racing. My aunt lives north of here, so she's not local. When do you race? First Friday of every month. I don't even have to know what day it is. The first Friday of every month. And I think it's
when your roots do.
It's a great program.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and there was the one thing that people, when Milan wasn't open, no matter who owned or bought it, they were hoping to God that Friday night, would always stay, no matter what. I mean, really, it's a Hallmark show.
Sure.
And now that one of our interns just passed us a note, did you say you had a 10-year-old granddaughter?
Yeah.
Doesn't that make? Don't you have to be a grandma to have a granddaughter?
Well,
Okay.
I have.
So when Matt tells us you're 26, okay, we're trying to do the math here. All right.
Matt it's nobody there. I'm not sure there's anybody here who knows how old I am.
Nor will they.
That is Matt. Don't ask Matt because he don't know. He'll even tell you, I'm not sure.
Really? All this time he hasn't asked?
He does. Or I don't know. It's really not a big deal.
Okay.
I mean, I have no age restrictions in the house, so it's not like you have to be X old to do something in my house.
Okay, like Cedar Point, you have to be so tall to ride this ride. Okay.
Right. But in my house, it's as long as it's safe and it's not illegal, immoral, or hurts an animal, go for it.
All right, so now are you going to try to get her involved in this? Is she going to come see you race? I don't want to call you grandma, but
she has expressed an interest.
Uh-oh.
She has expressed. Yeah, she has said, I think I want to race junior dragsters.
Uh-oh.
And we said, okay, so you really need to know what this is about, she had never been to a Friday heads up with us.
Really?
And so we said, yeah. But she's grown up. I mean, she's here several times, once a week, more than once a week. So believe me, she has been in and out of the car. I have pictures of her playing hide and go seek in the car, sleeping in the car as a baby. So she is very familiar and comfortable with the Chevelle. But at her age, she would have to be in junior dragsters. So we took her. We said, you need to learn. You need to see what it's all about. And a friend of mine crews on another team, and her daughter has run junior dragsters. And so I wanted her to meet them and talk to them. And then I said, if you're, we'll take you to a junior dragster race at Milan so you can see and hear junior dragsters, meet people your own age. And she said to me sometime Friday night, well, what if I decide I don't want to do this? Okay, and you decide you don't want to do it. She says, well, what if in 3 years I decide I do want to do it? Okay, then you decide
then I get the ship
want to do it.
What if in 2.5 weeks I want to, and then in 4 months I don't want to?
Well, if we get into a season, there is a conversation about not quitting mid-season.
Yeah.
But if you decide that this really isn't for you, then it's not for you. And I've told her before, there are so many other jobs on a team.
Yeah.
That you don't have to be the driver. There's other jobs. And maybe you don't want to be the driver. Maybe you want to be a tuner. Maybe you just want to drive the rig. I couldn't drive the rig, that's for sure. I mean, I could drive it, I just couldn't park it anywhere. And
parallel parking in Royal Oak would not be for you?
No. And so, I mean, there are so many other jobs to do on a race team that, you could enjoy racing, but not want to be a driver. Heck, look what John Sarver's done for racing in this area. You could do what he does.
No, you couldn't.
But do you
now
see
without
what I'm
a drug
saying?
problem. Yeah, okay.
I mean, you've done so much for racing in this area.
Here's your $5. Thanks.
You don't have to be a driver.
No.
And so that's what I've told her. If you want to be in racing and driving isn't for you, let's find the job that is for you.
I mean, do you get her, Karri? Like, will she be there every Friday that you're going to be there?
I think so. I did ask her if she wanted to come back, and she said yes. Now, the next one is on a school night, and so that is a mom and dad decision, not a grandma decision. And then after that, I really want her to come to the July race, because historically Milan has done, fireworks. She's a kid. I figured she'd like the fireworks.
But what happens if she likes the fireworks and the first firework and the third firework, she doesn't like it, but then she likes the fifth firework? It's so cute that she was trying to figure every angle so you wouldn't get mad at her if she wanted to bail.
Oh, she's just trying to feel out, is this really what I want to do?
Yeah, but how about you? I mean, do you want to steer her in this direction, or are you just going to give her the exposure? Or
listen, we were hoping from day one that one of the grandkids would want to get involved in a junior dragster.
Really?
I can't tell you. Oh yeah. We had hoped that one of the grandkids would want to do a junior dragster. And all three of them are girls, and so far, not one of them, except for recently now, the 10-year-old, has said she might want to do this. I mean, they like the car. We have the street car. They love going in the street car. And the other two granddaughters, they were there Friday night, too. They love to watch Grandma race. But they don't have an interest in doing it themselves.
Yeah, but how old are they, though?
10, 6, and 3.
And the 3-year-old doesn't want to race? What the hell?
I know. If you had asked me to put a quarter on one of the girls, the youngest one is the one. She's the most adventurous.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Listen to your voice change, okay? It's kind of like, oh, man, if I had a cup of coffee now, just to follow her around. I mean,
so
She likes to scoot? I mean, is that the thing? She likes to go all over the place?
Yeah, she's just fearless, somewhat fearless.
She's 3. Okay.
She's 3.
Yeah, and how much fear can that be? I mean, do they live close to you?
Well, I watched that little one fall down a flight of stairs and get up and say, "I'm all right," and walk away.
And after the paramedics gave you oxygen, were you okay?
Well, I mean, Mom and I stood there. Mom saw her too. It wasn't like I was just me. Yeah, okay. Mom watched her and said, "Oh boy."
I mean, did you like hold your breath, or did you try to show, no problem, no big deal?
Well, you just kind of stand there. You're half in the motion to scoop in and swoop her up, but yeah, no, she just got up and brushed herself off and said, "I'm okay."
Wow. Okay, but now is there a junior dragsters sitting around the Beebe compound somewhere, just waiting for somebody to sit into it?
There is not, and we made that decision because one, we did not want it to be out of date if and when any of the kids decided they wanted to do it, and we also did not want to try to sell it if none of the kids wanted to do it. So it would be a new investment.
Yikes! Is the Beebe Syndicate ready to extend in case she says let's go for it?
We'll figure it out.
Chevrolet powered, I'm assuming.
I don't know anything about junior dragsters. I think they're like weed whipper motors or something.
Yeah, but I thought, well, let's give the girl an advantage.
Well, I think there are very strict rules about the juniors.
Yeah. Well,
I really don't know much about them. It would have to be we would all be learning a lot about them, rules and cans and cannots and all of it.
Yeah, but I mean, how much of a stage mom would you be?
I don't know. We've had friends who their kid was getting into juniors and just kind of point them in the right direction. And I mean, obviously I can't ride down the track with you, and I can't run that fast, so you are kind of on your own for a quarter mile. I'm pretty sure I can handle that.
Yeah, but how about you? I mean, the first time that one of the granddaughters pop in one and the tree turns green, are you going to be okay? On the first one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. Wait a minute. We just switched to proud grandmother voice. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a nervous Nelly.
Oh, okay.
You want the nervous Nelly speech? I'll go put Matt on the phone.
Matt's more nervous than you in that situation?
Oh, he would be, for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can Matt run as fast as all the way down the quarter mile with him, help him out?
No.
Okay.
No. No. No.
I can about imagine Matt with a 3-year-old granddaughter. That would be fun. I mean, could you even see the granddaughter if she stood up behind Matt? Where'd the kid go? Oh, it's behind Matt. I mean, I would assume, because we've seen some stuff, the junior dragsters are popping up like no tomorrow. And I mean, I don't know what happened, something over the last couple of years. I mean, because it was like doing okay, and then it kind of went into a lull. And then this year, my God, are we seeing a ton? And I don't mean in like one track. I mean, there's tracks in Michigan alone that have all kinds of junior dragster stuff. I mean, like dedicated days for them and stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I think all the tracks have dedicated junior dragster days. I think Milan's is Thursdays.
Yeah, because I know that Lapeer is heavy into it, and I think it's most on Sundays, and we've seen some stuff at mid. Whatever goes at 131, but I could about imagine. I mean, the 10-year-old granddaughter comes down and sees Grandma, which is so weird to call you Grandma, and asks for advice. It's like, Graham, should I like blow the yellow or should I just hop the green? What should I do? I mean, do you sit down and have that grandmother to granddaughter discussion?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna. I have a game on my phone that's a practice tree game. She plays that.
I would expect no less. Okay.
So, and like I said, I mean, she's been around. I mean, the safety equipment sitting around the house. There's car parts everywhere. I mean, she understands that it is a very encompassing lifestyle.
Do you quiz her? What is this, a piston or a camshaft? Which one is this? A 10 millimeter or is this a ratchet? Which one?
Well, I right now I'm not asking her to work on the car. I mean, I would ask her to be involved and start to learn. But when I started to drive, I didn't know those. I couldn't have told you that.
Okay, so now that you give her seat time and say, "Look, this is how Grandma does it. Here, you try."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we would start her off and take her testing and make sure she's comfortable and can drive it. We don't even know if she could drive a dragster or not. We haven't put her in one.
Yeah, how does that go? I mean, you have to just borrow one to see if you like it and then go all the way in, or just start off?
That would be a conversation I would have to have with other junior dragster parents, grandparents, whatever. Yeah, that's why we didn't, she said, I have an interest. We didn't buy one. We said, let's talk about this. Let's see if this is really something you want to do. If it's, let's go to a race. Let's go to a junior dragster race. Let's talk to other 10-year-old drag racers. See what they say. What do they think about it? Let's have these conversations.
Yeah, because you're going to be giving up a Saturday or a Sunday or a Thursday, and especially if she's going to get involved working on it. I mean, you're right. It becomes encompassing.
Right. And so right now, the only thing we have done is we have taken her to a Friday heads-up race. But so far, and she's had a conversation with another junior dragster racer. And I didn't listen in on their conversation. I have no idea what they talked about. They could have talked about fingernail polish for all I know. I did not hover or butt in on their conversation. It was a peer-to-peer conversation. And to me, that's who she needs to talk to about the actual racing, our peers.
Well, what happens if the peer says, "Hey, how come your grandma drives Chevy? Why didn't she drive Mopar?"
Okay. Then we'll have that conversation.
Grandma, why do we drive Chevrolet? All the generational speaking.
Yeah. I mean, it's always a conversation to be had.
All right, a conversation to be had, too, is we better get back focusing on you. How are you running this year? I mean, you said that you felt pretty, you found the magic solution. How fast are you going? How well is everything feeling? You ready to get back out there? Are you looking to test a little bit more? Are you thinking about changing something up? What you got?
Well, so over the winter, we sent the motor out to Billy Briggs Racing Engines. He just freshened it up. There was really nothing wrong with it. Just needed some tender loving care, We sent the transmission. We took it to Rossler. There was a couple things wrong with it. He took care of that. And like I said, we sent the converter out. And other than that, the only big upgrade we did over the winter was we got a new Holly Dash, which does 0 for performance.
Really?
It just it provides more information to the crew about different things the car is doing, and I think that's one of the reasons they were able to identify that our issue Friday night, low on mile per hour, low ET, we were going 460s, had something to do with converter slippage, and and they were able to ascertain that because there are so many sensors on the car going through this Holley system, and so is it overkill? I don't know, but knowledge is power. And we have learned throughout the years that consistency is key. You don't always have to be the fastest guy. I mean, it is more fun when you're the fastest guy, but if you're the consistent guy, you're the person that everybody has to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, those things are not cheap either. I mean, did you take a look at it and you go, well, we could buy some horsepower more than we can buy knowledge here?
No, because that's not my job. My job is to not say what to buy or what not to buy when it comes to the car. The crew makes that decision and then comes to me as the CFO and says, can we afford this?
Yeah.
So
and you hold your breath and you go, how much?
Yeah, but we had that discussion over the winter that this new Holley Dash was not going to make us faster, but it was going to help the team tune the car to make us more reliable and more consistent. And so I trust them, and I said, okay, that's what you want. That's what you want to buy. That's what we'll get. So
did you use that kind of tone? Okay, if that's what you want.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I want a Holley Dash or not. I don't know. Like I said, I trust them.
Gotcha.
If the guys came to me and said we should paint the car a different color, I'd be like, no, we're not. No, I trust you, but I don't think painting it's going to make us any better.
Even if it took off a tenth.
No, I don't think that'll happen.
Well, you have to change all your shirts. Yeah, okay, I can see the point.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, how is the car feeling? I mean, how's it launching? How's everything, especially with the new stuff? I mean, you feel confident this year, Karri? Or, I mean, are you still working it out?
Yeah, so, it was feeling really good on Friday. And, the pass we made on Saturday, it was really... we actually almost beat I went like 2.6 Gs. And, I mean, those Gs really put you in your seat.
Yeah, they do.
and you can feel the difference in mile per hour. And that does relate to how many Gs you're going. But the car is running good. It's running straight. I mean, it's responsive. I'm not feeling or hearing any sort of hiccups anywhere. I'm not hearing little ticks or dings that we're looking at. No. I very much enjoy driving. My seat is comfortable. I wish daily drivers had seat belts like the Chevelle does. You sit in this car and you cinch all these 5 seat belts across you, and then you get into your daily driver and you put that little thing across your chest, and that moves when you move to change the radio, and you think, boy, this isn't going to save me in an accident.
And everybody now at safety restraint systems all over the world are saying, thanks, Karri.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I feel safe and secure in the car. And I tell everybody, my driver's seat, I don't know what it is, but man, is it comfortable. Like if I could bring it in the house and sit and watch TV in it every night, it'd be awesome.
All right, so we better ask, what kind of seat is it?
It's a Kirky.
Okay.
It's been in there from day one. Yeah. But I don't know if it's the seat cover. I don't know. But it is a very comfortable seat, and you're more than welcome to come and sit in it anytime. Come on. No.
Okay. All right. I mean, take the bucket seat challenge. All right.
Yeah.
Job well done, man. I mean, hooray for everybody now, especially if you can make a couch out of that or do your whole home in this.
Heck yeah. That'd be awesome.
Be cheaper than a lazy boy. Okay, so now, next time you're racing, tell the folks again.
The 19th and 20th of May, so that is next Friday and Saturday at Martin, US 131.
Great. And then I'm thinking grandchildren in tow?
No. She did not want to sleep in the trailer overnight.
Any reason why?
Well, she is new to this.
Okay. I got you.
I think the idea of glamping, whatever you want to call it, in the trailer overnight.
Yeah, but I mean, now don't you have to buy her a shirt?
She has a shirt. All the kids have shirts.
She's got crew shirts?
Well, she's got Beebe Motorsports shirt.
Yeah, but crew shirts when she goes to school, that's good advertising, man.
Well, I didn't buy our crew shirts. Those were a sponsored item. So.
Yeah. Hey, talking about which, anybody on the side of your doors this year?
No, nobody on the side of the doors. As always, Billy Briggs Racing Engines has been very, very good to us. Jim Kidd Motorsports, he dynos our motors, and he's a huge supporter of the team. Rossler, our converters of PTC, and all of those companies who've helped us out have always been big help, big supporters. And then my father-in-law sat on the spectator side with our number one fan, Terry.
Right.
And he said when you come around the corner, he says there's a fan base sitting over there that think very highly of me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that there are people in the stands rooting for me, even when I lose. They think I'm the coolest. They think I'm the and I appreciate fans who dig what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, there's something about when you do come up and you do make that corner and you see those headlights, especially if it's darker at night. I mean, it's sinister looking.
I know.
I mean, you're right. You don't want to paint it blue.
No. But I appreciate the fans. I appreciate the ones who sit in the stands and hoot and holler, and I never see them, never get to meet them, and the ones who come to the tent, to the pit, just to look at the car, just to ask a question or take a picture. I mean, I appreciate all of those people. They've taken their time, their money to come and maybe see me and somebody else, but it's appreciated very much.
So we can tell the folks that I don't think it's a great big secret. If you go to Milan, which is basically your home track,
yes.
People are scared, and it's one of the things we try to do here at CK is demystify the process here. A rule of thumb is if you see the Beebe Motorsports thrashing on the car or they're packing a chute or something, take a picture and come by next time. But if they're sitting on the chair, I will go out on a limb. You can go out and say hi to Karri Anne. You can say hi to Matt or the crew.
Absolutely.
You can get close to the car. Don't scratch it with your big Elvis belt buckle.
No, we have. I see people. We'll be in the trailer, working on a tune-up. I'll be, getting ready to make another pass, and I'll see people come up. They look at the car, they take a picture, and they walk away.
Yeah,
just like you said. Well, but we are never too busy I can answer questions and pack a parachute.
Really? Because
you want to ask? Yeah.
You probably
want to ask a question.
Yeah, you probably want to say exactly when, because there was times where people are thrashing, and see, that's what they think. The normal fan thinks when they're walking by that you guys are in motion doing something. Don't talk to them. They're busy. They're really concentrating. No. That's all they need is, can you take a picture? And it's like, oh my God, they're going to throw a wrench at me.
No, I'll tell you what. I'll be very honest with you. The only time I would prefer that random people don't come up and
in the morning
is when I am in the car in the staging lanes.
Oh my God! Would people actually tap on and hey, hi, can you sign this?
They do, and
really,
and I don't. Yes, and because because they haven't ventured into the pit area. That's all. And we say hello or whatever, but I'm trying to concentrate. I'm just trying to get in the zone, and I don't want to be rude to anybody. But if you were to ask me if there was one place where I would ask you to just not, it would be there. But I don't care. I've been in the car, strapped in, and somebody stops in front of the car, poses, and somebody takes their picture, and they walk away. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Stand in front of the car and pose while your friend takes the picture in the staging lane. It's just, let me concentrate on what I'm doing. Ask anybody else in the crew a question, but can we save my question till I'm packing the chute at the pit? Just come on into the pit. And I'll tell you, if you're in the stands and you like any car that goes down the track, wait till the car gets off the track, because you're not going to be able to answer a question when they're on the track. Go into the pits and find that car and tell that team just how cool you think they are. I don't care if it's not me. I don't care if it's my neighbor. Come out of the stands and come tell the team just how cool you think they are.
Yeah. I mean, especially because, see, a lot of people, especially Milan, there's no, whatever your ticket is, there isn't like your ticket and like a NASCAR kind of thing. There's a pit pass also. Your ticket gets you to walk around wherever you feel like walking around, wherever you want to be safe, And it's amazing. Drag racers, almost to the person, A, want to put on a good show, and B, you want to take a picture. Some of them will even let you sit in the car, and that flips the normal fan out. Well,
so I'll tell you a funny story.
Sure.
Friday night, I'm trying to find the ladder, and Milan usually posts it in two different places, one up in the lanes and one at the Dirty Harry's. Wasn't at Dirty Harry's. I take the golf cart, and my girlfriend's with me, and we go up to the lanes to see if there's a ladder.
Right.
I get off the golf cart, I walk up to the board to see if there's a ladder. A young child, 4 or 5 years old, walks up to my girlfriend and says, "I want to ride." And my girlfriend says, "What?" And he starts climbing on the golf cart. "I want to ride." So I come back to the golf cart, and my girlfriend says, "I don't know." So I say, "Hey, little dude, where's your parent?" This man turns around and he says, "Oh, little Johnny, don't do that." And he says, "I want to ride." I said, "He wants to ride." I said, "Where do you want to go?" He says, "I want to ride." So I say to the little kid, "What's your favorite car here?" Turns out it's a dragster that's got a dragon on it. I actually happen to know where this dragster's parked because I've seen it.
Right.
I drove the little kid and his dad to this dragster. Don't know who they are. Dad and the little kid get off my golf cart. Dragster people say, "Come on over. Does little dude want to get in the dragster?" They put little dude in the dragster. Dad takes his picture. They give him those hero cards.
Yeah.
Little dude and Dad get back on my golf cart, and I take them back up to where they were.
Why don't you take them back to Beebe Motorsport?
No. They wanted to go back to see the racing.
Okay. See, I mean, does that not tell you the heart of drag racers?
But I don't care what car you like. Go into the pits and see them. Because just like you said, there's a good chance they're going to put you in the car.
Yeah.
This little dude got to watch the rest of the races, and every time that dragster came up, you know what that little dude's saying? I sat in that car.
Oh, that nice lady took me to go to that car. I'm going to probably like green Chevelles now. Okay, yay. You know,
I don't even think I told him what car I drove. Those people probably have no idea that I drove a car.
Probably thought you worked for the place for Milan.
No.
You know, but you know what, though, Karri? Think about it. I mean, it's the ripple effect. It's that where you put the stone in the water and you see, like, the little ripples. I mean, forever, for always, that kid's going to have that memory. That dad's going to have that memory, and they're going to talk about it every Christmas so that the family gets together. Remember that time you know?
Yeah.
I mean, talk about being good ambassadors to drag racers. Way to go, Karri Anne Beebe.
But that's what it's about. It's about the little dude. Take him to his favorite car. And like I said, I don't even care if that favorite car isn't me. You see a car go down the track that you think is awesome, badass, cool, whatever, bee's knees, get up and go look at it and tell that team just how cool you think it is.
All right. Well, they can see how cool it is coming up at 1:31, where you can see the Beebe Motorsport, and you're just going to have. I mean, do you ever do the side by side? Do you ever bring the street car just for fun, for like a test and tune? Just get like a photo op or something.
We have.
Okay. And who drives the street car?
My husband, Matt.
I would expect nobody else.
Yeah, it's his car.
All right. I mean,
so, he drives it.
Pretty soon, depending how well the 10-year-old turns out to be a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine granddaughter and grandma taking a stroll down the quarter?
That'd be the bee's knees, wouldn't it?
Woo, kids. Wow, not a dry eye in the place. Okay. So where do people, in the 2 seconds we got left, people can find you guys where?
Social media, Facebook. We do have an Instagram. I'm not real good at it. But Facebook is where you'll find most of our updates and pictures and contacts and things like that.
And if they want to get a hold of you, Karri Anne, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, I'd give out my phone number, but...
No, not your phone number, but I mean on social media.
Just message me through Facebook, yeah.
Okay. I mean, should they do it under Beebe Motorsport or...
Either way, Beebe Motorsports or Karri Anne Beebe.
Can't miss. She's the greatest ambassador when it comes to taking little dudes on a golf cart. Karri Anne Beebe, Beebe Motorsport. Say hi to Matt and everybody, won't you?
I will, thank you.
All right, we'll catch up with you this year. My God, we're going to be at Milan a couple of times this year. All righty. Thanks, Karri Anne.
You're welcome.
Talk to you soon, ma'am.
All right.
Bye now. Honestly, folks, I mean, that is exactly what you get. I mean, if she isn't like... Karri Anne is so enthusiastic, and when she gets on the game, with the racing, there was one time we were there, and they let us hang around. We were with Brian Wolf that day at Milan, and it was... We had the whole Beebe trailer, and we watched the whole team from the inside. It's almost like we should have had the camera crew with us. But it's a ballet, what they do. Everybody's got, all the crew members have their own specific part to do, like normal. But, I mean, they work like meshing gears so well. And Karri, honestly, you know when Karri's in the house. And obviously when Matt's in the house because you don't see the sun. However, with Karri there, she is everything you just heard right here. Incredibly enthusiastic, incredibly charismatic. Extremely. If there's so many cool ambassadors to drag racing. And Karri Anne Beebe, honest to God, if you do see, and her car is sinister for a Chevrolet. I mean, the paint job she's not a black Camaro. You know what I mean? And she gives it her all every single time. And they are the everyman racer. She is not one of the racers, and the team's not one of the racers where they have, one of those triple stackers and they fly. Karri in from, on United Airlines, and she comes in for the race day and then leaves. And she does it, she's behind the purple velveteen ropes, and you can only see her between 4 and 6. She's a genuine article. Unbelievable. So glad to have her back with us. All right, talking about back with us, we got to get rocking and rolling here, kiddies. Grand Funk Railroad, why not? Here on the only station that gives a damn about the greatest hits and the best sport in the world, and that's drag racing. Welcome to CKiW iRADIO 76.